Hi, my name is Stephen Bilodeau from Wines Unlimited, beer manager. I'm here with Matt Westfall from England Brewing. We're going to do a little tour in a little bit, but first we're going to start with an interview and a little tasting. So I'll start with the interview, Matt. So when did England Brewing start?
Technically started in 2003, started by Rob Leonard. He took it from Norwalk, the old New England Brewing.
What were the goals of the company when you first started? Was it always craft beer, or was that the vision from the start?
It's really always been about making the best beer possible for a local market.
Yeah.
We've always wanted to make beer fresh and available as close to our brewery as possible.
How long have you been brewing for? What's your experience and expertise behind it?
I attended the American Brewers Guild, where I studied brewing science. I started here 5 years ago, and within the first year, Rob made me the head brewer, and I haven't looked back since.
What made you want to brew beer, craft beer in general?
When I first discovered craft beer, I first fell in love with the process, the idea, the wonderful blend of art and science. And once I discovered the community and the culture that goes with it, and just meeting beer people, I wanted to be a part of just this incredible movement. It's been so much fun.
Did you start in home, like home brewing?
My home brewing hobby turned into a crazy, out of control passion. And I was brewing 4 times a week and not finishing my college papers.
Yeah, I hear you. So how often does the brewery produce beer? Like how many barrels a year and stuff like that?
This year we produced 3,200 barrels, and this coming year, 2013, by the end of the year, we expect to produce about 5,000 barrels.
What's it like to be a brewer?
It's not as glamorous as you might think. You're wet all the time, you're lifting heavy stuff all the time, and you work a lot of hours for very little pay, but it's a lot of fun.
What's your personal favorite New England beer?
I love Elm City Pilsner. I think it's the hardest beer to make that we brew. It takes the most time, the most amount of babying, and it's just clean, great classic Pilsner.
What's your favorite not New England beer at the moment?
That's really tough. My favorite beer is usually the one that's in the glass in front of me.
Good answer. And is there anything new coming out from New England that people should know about?
Yeah, so we always have Gandibot rotation, 668 Elm City Pilsner and Sea Hag, and we always have 1 or 2 other beers that are in the works. Right now in our fermenters we have Scrumptious Saison. So Saison we produced for the first time about 2 years ago. We'll also bring back Galaxy Pale Ale, which is a 4.8% American Pale Ale with 100% Galaxy hops. Huge double IPA-like aroma, but really drinkable. And then we have a pilot batch today that we're cooking up of a Berliner Weiss that we hope to eventually make. But we're not 100% committed to making that this summer, but we hope we can pull that off.
Yeah. How about the call for that Stormtrooper Stout? How's that been?
It's been great. We produce it every December.
Yeah.
It comes out usually just about a week before Christmas, and we'll continue to do that as long as we can.
Yeah, I remember I think I have an original bottle before the change of the label. I have that at home. I won't open it up. It's one of my favorites. If you want to taste some of the beers, and we'll talk about the different styles maybe to the viewers and have them become a little bit more familiar with what New England's about.
Absolutely.
So what order would you pour the beers in general as far as tasting the beers that you have in draft?
We'll do Elm City first. It's the lightest. We'll do 668 the next, and then Gandibot last, just because that's a really big, aggressive hoppy beer that will destroy your palate. You won't be able to taste much else after that.
Okay.
So this is the Elm City. Filtered, it's the only beer we still produce that's filtered currently. It's a classic German Pilsner, 100% German hops, 100% German malt. Crisp, clean, refreshing, and very drinkable. It's beer-flavored beer, as we call it.
Yeah, it has a nice, clean, kind of refreshing taste. Plenty of flavor. Definitely digging it.
668, the name of the beast. It's a Belgian strong golden ale. A little bit higher in alcohol. It's just around 8%. Big phenolic peppery notes with some light citrus flavor behind it.
Give me a shot of it. This color.
Definitely get that nice full body and the citrusy notes. Definitely one of our favorites at our store, and actually pretty fast mover on the shelves.
Yeah, it's a great mover for us, and it's actually one of my favorite beers we produce. Lastly, what we have to offer today is Ganjibat. It's an Imperial IPA, brewed with just an enormous amount of hops, both in the kettle and the dry hopping stages.
Definitely get that full hop taste to it. Nice classic kind of IPA or double IPA mouthful, full body, and it has that really nice kind of like piney, citrusy kind of finish that lingers, but not in like a bad way. I really like it. You know what kind of hops went into the Ganjibat?
It's about 90% Columbus. I mean, we have a blend of 3 other hops that we include in the dry hopping stage.
So what was the inspiration behind Ganjibat?
Ganjibat was basically a beer that started in my garage that all my friends would force me to make all the time because they wanted to come over and drink it. So I kept making it, and when I came on here as head brewer, it was the second commercial beer I had ever brewed on a large scale, and it took off for us. And we really just kept it going. We needed a name for it. Our buddy Craig here came in, and I said, I brewed a double IPA, we really need a name for it. And he didn't blink or pause, he just said Ganjibat. It just fell out of his head, and now we have this beer Ganjibat that seems doing really well for us.
Was there any inspiration for the artwork, or did somebody draw that out here? Or
Craig did all the artwork and named it. So
Craig.
he's the reason that we have Ganjibat called Ganjibat. All right. So we were actually the 3rd craft brewery to ever do beer in cans, craft beer in cans, and everything we've ever done canning-wise has been done by hand. So this is our tiny little canning line. It's very manual, so we literally fill each and every can by hand. So we basically push the can in, it hits this button, purges the can out with CO2, fills it with beer, and the beer hits the sensor, it stops the flow, put the lid on, pass it off to whoever's working the seamer, and this little machine is just going to seam that lid on there. Give the beer a bath, and slide it down and make 6-packs or 4-packs depending on what we do. So we've done well over 1 million cans on this little line over the last 6 or 7 years, and we'll be using it for about another 8 weeks before we install our automated canning line, which we're very, very excited about. So basically at New England Brewing, we're very small. We do everything by hand. We have a 15-barrel brew house with 30-barrel fermenters. So we brew twice on this system to fill every fermenter. We brew about 4 days a week. We have 7 fermenting vessels and 1 packaging tank. So this is basically where all the magic happens, all the beer is fermented. This is our packaging tank where everything's carbonated and packaged from, either keg can or bottle right out of this vessel. Nice active fermentation happening right here. This is some carbon dioxide being blown off in a sea hag. We have one of our wonderful brewers, Sebastian, who just kicks ass and makes this place work. And this is where we store all our kegs, and we have some Imperial Stout aging in some bourbon barrels. Back to sea hag we brewed today. So we're just going to cool down that wort, and that hygrometer will tell them how much fermentable sugar we have to work with.
how important is the gravity reading to the brewing process?
That's really going to determine how much alcohol we have in the beer, and that's really helps us be able to use some mathematical input to be able to make that beer consistently every single time we brew it.
So I just want to take this time to say thank you for taking the time to do the interview with us and walk through the questions that I had.
My pleasure.